Hi guys, it's Cynthia again with Healing Holden. I decided to go live today just because I don't feel like messing with other kind of cameras. So this is new. I think it's recording. I hope it's recording. I don't know. Anyway, I've got some ideas that I wanted to share with you guys, and they came from a couple of discussions that I had with some commenters. Magan Bai, thank you so much for mentioning the Tarlov cyst and its relation to schizophrenia or causing schizophrenia. I just recently had a few revelations that I wanted to share with you guys and see if maybe we've got some other, I think, I guess, smoking guns we can go to as far as things that might be affecting your child or you or somebody you know with either autism, schizophrenia, or any other kind of mental illness or other illnesses. So, uh, Magan Bai, and I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Maybe it's Megan. Anyway, she mentioned something about Tarlov cysts causing schizophrenia. And Tarlov cysts are apparently a cyst that you can come up on your spinal cord, which kind of makes sense. You've got a spinal cord issue. It's going to affect your brain, and apparently it was causing people to go into schizophrenia. And I just recently had a coworker who has a son with autism, and he has an arachnoid cyst in his brain. And you can look that up. It's kind of like a spider little tendril cyst in the brain. And when I talked to him, he was concerned about surgery for his son because apparently they're thinking maybe that is contributing to his autistic symptoms. He's only like 3, so they're freaking out a little bit, and I would be too, about having to uh, basically have brain surgery on their kid. So I was talking to him, and I was like, you know what, and maybe I'm wrong, but here's what happened to me, and I can even show you something that happened to me recently. But when I was in uh, when I was in about 2006, I started having a lot of stomach pains, and I was like pasted to the sheets in bed with what I thought was uh, appendicitis because I had like a terrible pain on the right side of my abdomen. I had like a stomach virus type of thing, and I had fever, and I was stuck to the sheets for the whole week. And I finally, talked to my mom, and she was like, "Well, your sister had appendicitis, and it sounds like appendicitis, so you better go to the emergency room." So we went to the emergency room, and they did a CT scan on me, and it turned out I had cysts all over my kidneys. I'm sorry, not all over my kidneys, all over my ovaries, cysts on my kidneys, and 2 liver masses that they went on to give me a liver biopsy for to find out, because I decided I'm going to tackle the liver first because I kind of need that. I can do without my ovaries, and I can, got 2 kidneys, so I want to check on the liver because that's important. So I'm sitting here thinking, is this cancer? What the heck? So I went to the best liver specialist in Houston, supposedly, and they did all these tests, and everything was inconclusive. And then I went to get a second opinion from the best liver transplant specialist in Houston, and he did a liver biopsy, which was really cool because I'm weird. And I thought it was the neatest thing ever. They did like a little incision in my back, and I was lying down. They did it like from under me, or they had me kind of propped up, sorta, and then we're doing it under me, but had cameras and a monitor, and they were doing it all kind of through X-ray. I was getting X-rayed, and they were going in through my back between my ribs to go in to aspirate a piece of the mass that was in my liver so that they could biopsy. I mean, it was a biopsy, so they could test it and see what it was, see if it was cancer or whatever. And then I asked them to turn the screen to me because I was kind of doped up, and I like to see that kind of thing. That's where I'm weird. So I got to see it, and it was like Alien Probe, where you see, you know what I'm talking about in the movies, and go watch X-Files and their Alien Probe where they're all like looking at you, and this is what you see they're doing to you. Anyway, it was kind of like that. Anyway, so this is my entertainment factor for you guys. it came up inconclusive. And so when I went to the liver specialist, the liver transplant specialist, they were like, "I'm sorry, we don't know what it is. We don't know what to do for you." They're like, "Your numbers are high," and whatever numbers they were, I don't remember. And so I asked the guy, I'm like, "Do you think it might have something?" Because I've been doing my own homework on it, and I was looking at like liver uh, masses and then ovarian cysts, and I had kind of seen polycystic ovary. Well, no, I hadn't gotten to that point yet, but I knew that when you look at the puzzle pieces and you dump them all out on the floor, that you arrange them together to make a whole picture, and that's what your body does. Your body's a whole thing, not just one piece. Um, so the uh, the liver specialist was like, I'm sorry. I started to think about the chat and everything. So I asked the guy, "Do you think this has anything with to do with my the cysts on my ovaries?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't do ovaries." And I'm like, "Okay, fine. Oh, thank you very much. I'll just go somewhere else." But, and I get it because, I'm in IT and I do like one deep slice of IT. And if somebody asks me about, and a lot of other systems affect my system. So it's all kind of like the body where they're all interrelated, but I don't know that piece. I know this piece. So, I get it. I'm not knocking doctors. That's kind of the thing is that you need the full picture and you need people who are willing to look at the full picture, which a functional medicine doctor does, these doctors are great. You need all those labs. They're great for diagnostic. Sometimes they can't, assemble a puzzle the way a functional medicine doctor will. Anyway, so I got down to the nitty-gritty of it, and I finally went to, uh I decided, okay, I'm gonna go to my endocrinologist because I finally decided it looks to me like, judging from all the symptoms and all the numbers, this looks like polycystic ovarian syndrome. Um, and so I went to the endocrinologist, and he did all these tests, and he said, "Yes, that's what it is." And he was gonna give me hormones. I'm like, "Well, why are you gonna give me birth control, basically?" So I'm gonna adjust this because I'm crouching. I like to sit on the floor. Anyway, so he said, I said, "Can you just give me something for the insulin resistance? That's the root cause of the hormone imbalance that I have." So I was basically getting type 2 diabetes. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, sure." So he gave me metformin, and I was on metformin for quite a while, and the liver masses reversed. I have no more, so I had no more masses on my liver. I went back to get another ultrasound to check on it, and gone. And the same thing with my ovaries and my kidneys. They had no more cysts on it. Everything reversed itself. So you know how they always say, like, I think I got my tubes done, and if you get your tubes tied and you're still producing the eggs, and they pop out of your ovaries, and uh, they don't reach your uterus through your fallopian tubes because they're blocked, they'll just be reabsorbed into your body. So I guess that's what happens with the cyst cell. Everything gets kind of reversed and reabsorbed, and everything's fine. Your body knows what to do. So I'm thinking this: your cysts come from somewhere. So the Tarlov cysts and the arachnoid cysts, I bet you can be reversed. And it turns out, my coworker with the child that has autism and the arachnoid cyst has a thyroid issue. So anytime you've got something like your hormones out of balance, you start having all the other hormones go out of balance. So it's kind of like a domino effect. Same thing happens with your vitamins and minerals. If you have too much of something, everything wants to stay in a balance, and if one thing tips over, the rest of them do too. So I say that to kind of tell you these things can be changed. And I'll give you an example. For instance, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. I had to go to Uruguay, which is where my family's from, to go take care. My father died, and had to go take care of things down there. And while I was down there, I thought I was going to be able to, do my usual grain-free, dairy-free diet. And I was able to buy some, organic and grain-free or dairy-free stuff there, but they didn't have that much. And I should have thought about getting like canned coconut milk, but I didn't. So I was looking for almond milk. And anyway, so I have a dairy allergy, but the hormones in dairy no matter how you slice it, whether you have organic milk that had or no hormone added, they still have the hormones from the lactating cow. So it's still going to tip over your other hormones. So I ate there for a week as much. I made everything myself except for one meal. Actually, maybe two, breakfast and lunch at a friend's house. Yeah, and uh, I think, yeah, I guess the airport too. So I guess more than one meal, but just like a couple of days of stuff I didn't make myself. I got so messed up hormonally by not, I eventually, let me backtrack. When Holden became autistic and I realized what drugs and vaccines could do to your body and the extreme, that you could do something else, I asked the nutritionist that gave me the SpectraCell, because I did one for myself too. So what can I do to get off of my medication? And she said, just get off dairy and grains. And so I did, and it was fine. Everything went really well. I got off my medication right away, and I had no problem. I mean, when I had the cysts and I had the um, all that the problem, I was also losing my hair. I couldn't lose weight. I was gaining weight really fast. I needed like a pee and gain a bunch of weight in no time. And I was exercising like crazy, but super exhausted all the time. And I was losing my hair, getting chin hairs. It was really lovely. I still have like one that I have to pluck out. It's gross. That's the bearded lady, guys. I almost made it to the circus. I always wanted to be in the circus, but not like that. Anyway, so um, oh, I also got really bad cystic acne all along my jawline, which is like where the beard comes from, right? And and so those are, and then here too, and that's because that's where the androgens, it basically throws off your estrogen and makes you have like testosterone. So in Uruguay, okay, you can kind of see it. When I was in Uruguay for a week, I ate sort of badly. I did eat grains and dairy, and I got like a mother load of acne. I gained 5 pounds. I my period, guys, my period was awful, and I was super weepy and emotional, and like for, I mean, I have plenty of reasons, but more than usual for like no real trigger. Anyway, but this was like the worst part to show. But these are cysts. This is cystic acne. Can you see it? It's gross. Anyway, they're going away now, but they were pretty awful. And I was putting like, all of my acne, all the acne stuff I could find. I was drying my skin out. I had some on this side too. Still see a little bit of it. Anyway, it was gross. And now it's going away, right? Because I've been the last basically month I've been here, I've been eating right again. I've been taking my vitamins. Oh, and I didn't take vitamins there. So I wasn't taking my vitamins for a whole week. And kind of this month I haven't taken it. But this past week I've been taking my vitamins, doing better, starting to lose the weight that I gained, and my hormones like this month, my period this month wasn't. Let's see. It's the end of the month. Yeah, this one isn't that bad. You know what? I'm getting it too often. I'm getting it every 3 weeks. Anyway, I got to go back. I did my SpectraCell recently, so let's see what comes out of that. Anyway, suffice it to say, my correlation that I'm making is that if you do have a Tarlov cyst that's causing schizophrenic or whatever other symptoms, and maybe this coworker that I had, his son with his arachnoid cyst, here's the deal. If you get rid of it with surgery, but the whole mechanism that made it occur in the first place makes it come back, is still going on and makes it come back, then you can't just go around having surgery all the time and draining the cyst. You have to get rid of it from the inside out. So I just wanted to let Megan by. Thank you so much for your information. Brilliant. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing. Please, the rest of y'all, share this video, like it, subscribe, and give me your thoughts, because this, I made these videos to give you, my experience and my thoughts as I'm coming along them. But if you are going, in a direction that I haven't seen, or even in the direction that I'm going, and you have some, 2 cents, please give them to me, because I don't care what what you do for a living. You're an observer just as much as any scientist is, and you may be seeing things, like the emperor's new clothes. You may be seeing the emperor all naked, and you're just a little kid. You have, your uh, perspective too, and it might be right. So please feel free to share. It's very helpful. So thank you for sharing. Anyway, I think that's it for today. Let's see if this worked. Anyway, um, and my best to you, and let's keep doing this thing. Holden is, oh, he's learning Chinese. He's teaching himself Chinese. I don't know. I have no idea what he's saying. And he was 1 point off of making it to this Mandarin immersion school that we had here. So I was pretty impressed. I mean, he only he's been teaching himself for 6 months, but he has, I'm useless to practice with, and so is his dad. So that was pretty good to be able to almost get in just by a point. I'm impressed anyway. So we'll see what he's going to do. But anyway, that's all I have as far as updates for you. And that we're going to be seeing a doctor soon in the Woodlands, and she has some new thing that she wants to try. I'll let you know about that. It's called OnDemed. Um, I don't mean to be skeptical, but my first thought is like, but but I've had those thoughts before, and I've been proven wrong. So just weigh in later after I kind of do a little more research. But if you heard of OnDemed, feel free to bring me some info on that. Anyway, love you guys. Take care. Bye bye. See if I can turn this thing off. I don't know.